welcome to our wonderful event that everybody's been looking forward to for about a year.
Good afternoon, everyone. Really great to have y'all here and see our work. My name is Emmanuel. I'm the writer for Black Briar Film Project, but it's all of us. It's Preeny, it's Ian, it's Narissa Street. We're all contributing and putting plenty of hours and time into this project of just wanting to document our history with the Black communities in Broward, as well as just have a discussion on what we can do in the future. So, this is us, this is the team. I won't take too much I want to let everyone speak. But this is the film, it's the selected scenes. It's the selected scenes, chapter 1 and 2, because again, we are submitting it to a few areas and we do really want to get recognized for our work. And without further ado, let me introduce my brothers and the big sister, Narissa.
Yo. How's everybody doing today? As a team, we want to appreciate everybody for coming out today. It really does mean a lot to us. It's been 2 years of us working on it and not sleeping. Ian actually stayed up 42 hours, we counted last night, and he's been at my house, like just working on the computer and not sleeping, so I want to give a shout out to him for that. I really want to give a big shout out to Neri for putting up with a bunch of young and late individuals. We've been late to almost every meeting, but we got the movie done. I want to give a big shout out to Emmanuel for putting this all together to start this. So here's my man, Ian Man.
Good morning. Afternoon. So it's a blessing to be out here. It's a blessing to see supporting family and friends and community members that come out for this project. Like we said, it's been 2 years of hard work, and it's a blessing to have the film done. We would love to show it to you in its entirety, but we respect what our executive producer is trying to do with the bigger vision. We have, an idea, we want to just run with it, but Neri's been such a blessing to be able to get us to, just take our time and be patient and really make sure that we're leaving something that can make a bigger impact and not just something here in Hollywood and Dania, but throughout Florida and throughout the world. So I'm going to pass it over to her, Miss making the impossible possible herself, Neri Street.
Thank you. Okay, so what they're trying to say and what I will reiterate is the story of Dania and Liberia is bigger than this community. It speaks of what climate change gentrification is like for us, but it's a universal story for people who have built a community and what starts to happen when they can no longer hold on to what they have been instrumental in building. So what they have allowed me to do, because it's them allowing me to do, is to help them expand their vision. And what we're doing right now is, because we're submitting it to film festivals, one of the big things that film festivals say is that if it has already been publicly screened somewhere, it knocks us completely out of eligibility for competition and for everything. And so what we're so grateful to the Historic Society in doing is allowing us to have you see it and give us feedback and help us hone it so that the submissions can be excellent. Other than that, let me tell you that I'm also the executive producer, which means I'm the money person. They have not gotten any, everyone say it with me, any money for this at all. Zero. This has been a complete act of love for your story and for your story and for your story and for the little person that's right there who's looking at me like, why are you looking at me, lady? For your story too. Okay, so they've done it because they understand the bigger picture. And so what we're hoping that you help us do is spread the word, let people know you can't wait to see it, because as we get to bigger funders and we say to them, hey, they need to be paid on the back end for the production. As we clear, there's a lot of archival footage that we have to use. That requires a lawyer, okay? And lawyers are not going to, some of them, but most of them no. Okay, so we need to be able to put some money on the table for lawyers to help us fully clear the work that we've done. And then also, there's a cost for the clearing of that archival footage. And so it's bigger than us. It's bigger than this community. And for the Historic Society to understand that and to give us a space, we are ever so grateful. So if you could please thank Karen and her staff, that would be amazing. So at some point you're going to hear from them a call, and the call is going to be, please donate to us. And they'll say it like that. I will say, hi, remember us? Remember the value of this project? Remember that we need to submit it to film festivals? $50 each submission we have to do. I'm funding it right now. Every time I register it with the Writers Guild of America, that's the submission fee. That's what I'm doing right now, because I believe in this project. So I'm not getting paid, I'm actually paying out, right? So please, please, if you hear us say, please help us, know that we've already put in the work. And all that you're doing is helping us get your story further so that something can change. You were saying before that it's time for us to talk about solutions.
Correct.
We're doing that. And so we're asking you to help us continue to not just talk about solutions here, but in New York, in San Francisco, in Chicago, in Alabama, in DC, and other places that this is happening. So we really appreciate it. Once again, please give it up for the Black Broward Film Project. And they won't tell you, but I'm gonna tell you, when the screening comes up, please, as much as you want to take a shot of it or a video of it, that hurts us. So later on, take pictures with them and post those on social media and do all that kind of stuff, and maybe take a picture of your program or whatever else, but please, please, please do not in any way, shape, or form document this that they're about to show you. Is that agreed?
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. You about to do with?
All right, so we're about to show chapters 1 and 2 of the project. Just give us a moment to set it up, and I'll let the producer and brainchild of the project give us a little more synopsis.
It's a great time to be alive.
Yes.
You know, it's a great time to be alive. And I'm just really hoping that everyone enjoys. And here is chapter 1 and 2 of the Black Broward Film Project.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure you guys saw the credits. They were like about to stop. This is the kind of group that they are. They're like to stop the credits. I'm like, no. You're there for a reason. You guys need to see Foley artists. For those of you who, raise your hand if you have any idea about film and audio in the room. If you're one of these people who knows about film and audio. Okay, so the camera guy, right? Do you see how many credits they had? I made them put the credits there. They're like, no, we're directors. I'm like, no. Foley artist, re-recording artist, composer. Visual effects, for those of you who are checking out the little animation and little things that you saw right there. Who's the visual effects person? The person who corralled all of us and who like encouraged encourage us with this amazing vision. That guy right there. It is bigger than them, and it is bigger than us. But they need to, like the people who are doing film festivals, need to see the investment that they've made, you know, and you guys need to see that as well. This is not hours of work, not days of work. This is a couple of years of work, of them leaving work. Where's Preem's wife? Where is she? Okay. So I'm gonna tell us like a little bit of this over there. She's in school right now. They're juggling her in school. You guys just got a house. Like they're juggling all of that. He's at FedEx, he's doing all kinds of stuff. All of them have jobs. You know what I'm saying? So I have a job too, but they're really, really passionate about what they're doing. And they are not getting paid. We will tell you what their Cash App is. If you want to make, I'm not even started giving. If you want to make a donation, I'm just saying that was years of passion and work. And if you saw yourself in this film, you stand up for me, please. You saw yourself in this film, you stand up for me. Thank you so much. You cannot underestimate this value of these stories. And we do, and our children don't understand them because we don't tell them. There are so many of you who are part of the historic society right now, and it's great for you to talk to each other about how valuable history is, but there is a generation behind you who doesn't know, and you kind of got to knock on our doors a little bit. You kind of got to tell us a couple of times, and even when you think we're not listening, we're listening. You kind of got to tell us. Let us know what it is we don't know. And luckily you have someone like Emmanuel who caught it. And then if one of us catches it, the rest of us will catch it, because he told all of us, and we're like, you know what, there is something there. Hours upon hours upon hours upon hours. I think they're tired of meeting with me. I think they're tired of me telling them about, there's things in the works right now that I can't tell you about, but we will tell you, we will tell the Historic Society when the announcements can be made. But we need to get to these film festivals, and each one of them is about $50 to $75 each submission. And then we have to pack. You saw all the stuff that we were doing with the audio and everything like that. We had to package those a certain way. The packages for film festivals cost upwards of $250 each package. And so I can't like send one to Tribeca and say, hey, remember that thing I gave you? Could you like send it back to us? Because we're trying to get to LA. No, Tribeca's gonna keep it. And then, you know, I have to send something to LA, I have to send something to Atlanta, I have to send something. Each one of those is about $250 each. And then there's special things we have to do with the audio. They're streaming audio right now, which is why you saw the little extra glitches and stuff like that. That's not what we're gonna send to Tribeca because they need it perfect. So we gotta talk to an audio guy, and I can't talk to the audio guy and just say, pretty please, could you help us? So it's an amazing story, and I'm so proud of them. Could you give them another round of applause?
So before I even say anything else, I wanted to present you with the gift that we got for her, because we're young, right? Like, I know we got a lot going on, and we rather play video games sometimes than go to meetings, and we rather watch TV, and we were so unorganized before we met her, and she made us do a script build. She made us come to meetings one time a week. She made us make sure everything was perfect before we actually sent it to y'all, let y'all see it. So I don't know why she praising us so much, but she needs some praise. So come with your applause, girl.
Okay, so you understand it's a family, right?
Oh yeah, like I definitely want to say like my three favorite parts about this project was at first I was a little like, yeah, this is a lot going on, but I got to meet these two people, and I don't have a lot of friends. Like people know me, I stay in the house. Like these people are my friends now. Like I didn't know them before, and now they're at my house every day, eating my food, drinking my drinks. These are like my best friends now. I met these people through this project, and now they're my friends. My second favorite part is getting to meet some of these legendary people, like Mr. Collins right here. Mrs. James, first of all, it's gonna be a legend in the hood forever. It doesn't matter. Like that was something I thought was so crazy. And A1, kids always first. He gonna have an ice cream truck out here, so please get your ice cream from my please. Yeah, that was like one of the best parts. And my favorite part of all is being able to educate the youth. Because through school, I never learned anything about the city I grew up in. I grew up with a best friend, and he has Broward tatted on his arm, real big, a big tattoo that says Broward. And now that I see him, I'm like, I know you would not get that on you if you knew the history of Broward. You would not have somebody else's name on you that, in that time, would not care about you because of the color of your skin. So now that I know this type of stuff, I can educate the kids. I can talk to the youth. We can go to the schools, and hopefully we can get this in some type of curriculum per area and per school, so that these kids can learn about their own backgrounds. Because if I was more proud about my neighborhood when I was younger, I wouldn't be so happy to just escape it. I would have wanted to stay, help build it, and learn more about my place. But because I didn't, I was so quick to get out of it because I was so scared of what was going on there. So those are my favorite things about this project. These are my favorite people right now. I want to give a shout out to everybody that came out today, and I really appreciate y'all because this is a big thing for us. And it's been 2 years, and like I said before, we have not slept, so we're gonna go to sleep after this. So if you guys do want to donate, y'all can send it to me because I'm the money man of the project right now. I'm handling all the funds, and then I send it off to Neri to put it into our big account. My cash app is Premi Sterling that's it, just Premi Sterling. So PREMISTERLIN. So if you want to reach out to me after, and if you don't do Cash App, if you want to do PayPal, if you want to do Venmo, if you want to do cash, if you want to do check, I will figure it out.
And we send you, and they'll tell you, this is why it ends up over here. I document everything, and I send something back to you saying, this has been received, this is how much has been received, and we're working with a fiscal sponsor, so this has been received, here's your tax deductible information. So it is not like they're, and again, as you see, like they're not pocketing it. This goes, you now have to go to a lawyer. So, so you get a response back from us. You get a handwritten letter. We sign it. We're all excited about it, and we keep records of it because we have to keep records of it because when we're going to the bigger festivals, they're like, well, who's a funder? Because they want to make sure that there isn't any weird money involved in it. It's like that big. So we really appreciate them. Where's this kid? There she is. Come on over here. This is the love fest right over here. So yes, thank you. We really appreciate the opportunity that you've given us to talk about the project, and definitely we're so happy to bring it to this community and show it right here. So thank you. And it already and you guys, they have already visited Bethune Elementary, and they had a conversation with the kids at Bethune Elementary already. They really are serious about educating kids. So they want to do some projects where they actually teach kids how to shoot film as well. And they're really excellent. This is good work. For those of you who know film, this is excellent work. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Does anybody have any questions for anybody?
I believe that was an amazing film, so I think it's incumbent upon us to take action. So I would love to donate $100, and I would love someone to match me to donate. So I would like somebody to match it as well, because we're trying to support. You will match it over here, and you will match it over here, sir.
There's one behind
We
you.
got one behind me. We got one. You need to sign one this way. Keep your hand up high so we can put it down, please. You got some blessings. Stand up, please. You got some blessings in here tonight. Come on. Look at that. Thank God. Give them a round of applause. What's he doing in the back?
So yeah, see me and we'll get yours. Yes, send it to him and I need to get your signature.
So the remainder of the film discusses the future. Now that Dania Point is being developed and built, we talk about how that's affecting the community right now, how the community feels about it, whether or not they're able to survive off of this or whether they're getting moved out. So that's the remaining, the last chapter of the portion.
Also,
Yeah.
how did you get funding? Where did your funding come from?
Our pocket.
Our pockets. We used all cameras that we've had for years now. We've used cameras that we've had for years now. We had to buy new equipment, lights, microphones, memory cards, all these type of things came out of our pocket and the editing. We're young men that are still paying off college debt and trying to start families, all that type of stuff. So we definitely need the support because we're looking to make sure, as we've been saying, that this is not something that is just a drop in the pond, but it ripples out.
All right.
Yeah.
Do you have any information on like corporate sponsorships that we may could send out to developers or other people here?
We have a whole bag.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what they're talking about. Organized, like I was like, this is what we're gonna do. But we have to put some things in place, like the fiscal sponsorship package in place. And that would mean, like they're like, really? And I'm like, yes, because people need to do this. Yes.
When is the film gonna be complete and available?
So the film right now is complete. We're just trying to wait to find the right film festival that we want to enter it into. Because if we showed y'all the full thing, we would not be able to enter it into a lot of these contests.
And
So
we also need to clear, there's some footage.
yeah, so for the video clear.
That's the biggest holdup.
And how
Footage
long,
we have to clear.
just how long is the?
About 45 to 50 minutes is the full film. Right now, I think we topped off at 30 minutes with this part, and then the last part will be about 15 minutes, 20 minutes.
We have to put that, we cannot release nothing for that footage. And that's all that legal stuff that we gotta, and that's where, what you guys are about to give us, we're like,
I just wanted to say, because I accepted your challenge. And I accepted your challenge because one of my dear, dear friends was Bobby Grace, who was the first black mayor. And I
Legend in the back, right there.
one of the first ladies that came into the telephone company as well as the treasurer. We remember when we had the first group of Bobby Grace as an old
To be continued, but just know that you all will be growing with us. This is not just one episode and shot and then that's it. You know, we're aiming to document all of the historic black communities in Broward County. So that's Sistrunk, that's Pompano, that's Deerfield, that's Harlem McBride, that's Carver Ranches, that's Northwest Hallandale. So we're aiming to document. So you will be growing with us as time goes on. So again, this is not just a one-shot thing. Again, you all will be growing with us, and we look forward to building with y'all.
Any other questions?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah,
So
go ahead.
you guys talked about Dania Point, and I'm a little bit older. I remember when Six Flags was open.
Oh, yeah.
Did y'all talk about that? I'm just curious to know that y'all talked about that.
No, I want to say we focused kind of on what was now for the present.
Okay.
And with the past, we try to focus on a little bit further than that. Because we're trying to condense all the information. There's so much information going on. Like there was one information that we wanted to talk about, which was the monkeys in Dania. And it was so important, but like the people we were reaching out to didn't want to give us their footage and they didn't want to talk about it. And it was so much, we didn't want to give y'all unclear information about certain things. So we made sure everything we put in there was true and clear. So everything you're seeing is 100%. So I didn't want to put anything in there that wouldn't fit.
And also, one of the most interesting pieces of information that I found out from Dania, Liberia, and we're still looking to find this picture, is of the Paradise Club. You know, the Paradise Club was on J.E. Boulevard, kind of like where College Gardens was, and this was a club where, from many elders were saying that James Brown used to come to, and James Brown actually used to stay in this community because he had an auntie that stayed on Cody Street. I believe her last name was Eubanks. You know, and finding this picture, you know, it's like trying to find the Holy Grail. because, you know, you had like the likes of James Brown, and I heard of folks like Aretha Franklin coming over here. And it goes back to what Preeny was saying is, if millennials and Generation Z moving forward was to know of these people hanging out in their community and doing business with their community. I even heard that Jim Brown came here when he was playing football, but he didn't come here to talk sports. He came to Addicts to talk about education and talk about building. So like, you know, these are kind of things that I feel as if us, millennials and Generation Z, you know, can find and be able to take more pride in their community and also be mobilized to do more in their community. So I know there's a lot of elders and pioneers in here, and it's just basically helping us find the picture of the Paradise Club, because I feel as if that's a huge piece to both communities' history.
This is the 50th anniversary of Alex being in middle school. The class of 72, first freshman graduating class, we're partnering with Hollywood Hills. We're going to create a documentary play and hope it turns into a documentary that tells how that school, going from a high school to a middle school, tremendously impacted this community. The Alex is a heart. In the summertime, the gym days in the swimming pool was all where we hung out. Back in the 60s and early 70s, that was the gathering place. And I feel as though that's going to be a part, because we started to look at the solution. We're the elders now. I'm a 54 baby. That's a landmark decision. Brown versus the Board of Education came in reality. It didn't come to Broward County until the middle part of the 60s. I was impacted, so I had to be riding the bus way over to Hollywood Hills. So we're going back and trying to create that solution, that partnership, so it can impact Dania Beach and Liberia in a very positive way. So I'm looking forward. You know, we talked many times, we're looking forward to the solution, not only talking about the challenge, we got to bring forth the solution and go into the city, the political arena, in order to release some funds to help restore this community back to its traditional greatness.
Yeah, and that's one part that we're going to be talking about in the future, is the solutions and how some of the people that we interviewed felt we can fix what we feel is a problem in our own neighborhoods and stuff like that. So that's going to be a really big part of it. Any other questions?
You mentioned climate gentrification, and could you expand a little bit about that, what that is and what that happens?
So climate gentrification. Now, sea level rise is a big thing, and historically, the west side is usually highest above sea level. When you look at Miami, the highest point above sea level is Liberty City. And when you look at Liberty City, it's in the heart of Miami. It's in the centerpiece. It'll take you 15 minutes from Liberty City to Miami International Airport. 15 minutes from Liberty City will take you to Bayside, where the American Airlines Arena, where the Miami Heat play. 15 minutes, it'll take you to the stadium, the Hard Rock Stadium, where the Miami Dolphins play. And when you're looking at climate gentrification in Broward, mainly the northwest quadrants are usually the highest points above sea level, and that is Northwest Dania Beach. That is on Sistrunk. That's all these areas, and all these areas you're seeing these places being redeveloped and changed, whether it's whether one agrees for it and whether one not. So the thing is, for many people in the community to understand the importance of climate gentrification, because they're building around you, and what are you going to do about it? You know, many of myself, people at my age, Ian and Preemy age, a lot of contracts and things were signed when we were still in grade school, you know, and now we're dealing with the after effects of what's happening with quote unquote gentrification and things of that nature. So now we're kind of scrambling on what is it to do now, you know. So yeah, that's business expanding on what climate gentrification is. Yeah, one more question?
I just want to say thank you so much for that amazing job. That's a beautiful, beautiful video. We learned a lot.
Yes.
And thank you a lot. And Preemy, we're very proud of you and all of you too. Thank you again. And the question, thank you. Do you guys have any marketing plan? Have you tried to reach government official, movie star, other organization, non-profit organization, to support you, not only necessarily with financial, but to guide you to make it big or to reach to exactly what you guys trying to reach?
You need to
All right,
tell,
so-
please tell them about Radical Partners.
Oh, good.
Thank you.
All right,
So let him tell you about that.
Last summer, I was part of a fellowship called Radical Partners. They basically highlight community leaders in South Florida who are doing a lot of grassroots work without getting any funding or backing, and basically just helping them maximize their full potential. It was a strong, rough, about a month and a half process, and it taught me a lot. It made me understand a lot things more in terms of building with the community, in terms of talking to the right people, and basically, essentially just maximizing your full potential as a community leader, and as well as to, talking to those in that field of marketing and understanding words and numbers and, utilizing that to your best ability.
But we are always looking for more opportunities. They will tell you that each one of them, I've asked them to send me their bios, and I am, as you're talking about, I'm sending their bios out to the fellowships that match them. And so as we get those fellowships back, there's a fellowship right now that's in place for sound, and we're trying to get the information back on that. All of those things, as we get those fellowships, those opportunities, that is my job as the executive producer, to get their profile raised. My profile is high enough, they need to get their profiles raised so that as a team, they're recognizable. And when the larger film festivals that we want to target, they're going to see a solid, coherent team that's ready to go. So we are always open. I have my business cards with me. I've been sending them out. You can reach out to them individually. We talk to each other, so if you talk to one, you're talking to all of us. So please, if you want to get their contact information, feel free, whatever it is that you need to do. But we're open. We're open to any opportunities, and each one of them are ready to go. They're so humble. I cannot even. They're like a dream to work with. They're so humble. They're so amazing. They're so hardworking, and they're so talented. Wasn't it just a good story? Yeah. Yeah, it was just a great story. So yeah, they're amazing, and I can't wait for us to come back to the community again with the finished project. So got it. Yeah, that would be amazing. So, and apparently, and I'm gonna out you right now. Apparently, some organization nominated Emmanuel George for the African American Achievers Award.
100% deserved.
And apparently some organization nominated for the African American Achievers Award, and he found out he's a finalist. Yeah. And so all of those kinds of things, if you know these guys, feel free to talk about them. We're very grateful for the nomination. Okay. And
Don't forget all the little people.
Yeah, so we just wanted to give our final thank yous.
yeah.
Again, thank you all for coming out here. I especially want to thank my mom and my dad for sure.
Where's Mom? Stand up. If you are related,
My little brother Matt. My wife in the back, my brother in the back. Mrs. Mann, that's it. Where's Miss Mann at? The man? Oh, thank you. And we really wanted to thank y'all. Without them, this would not be possible. A lot of my equipment came from, my parents helping me get stuff, and my little brother pushing me a lot to keep going where I'm going, and so does my older brother. So I just wanted to thank them specifically. And without my wife, I'm a mess. So I love you, right?
okay, and the last thing that we're going to ask you to do, because it helps our social media, someone was talking about marketing, we're going to do the selfie. We have to do a selfie. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn around, and then we're going to do like the long arm thing, and you guys are going to like act like you really like us. And so we're going to do the long arm thing, and that's it. And that's really exciting and helpful for our community. But you guys are awesome. You guys are okay. Ooh. Yeah, we actually need to. Yeah, come on. He's got the lines out there. All right, wait. All right, ready?
talking